All right, welcome back to another English lesson. In today's English lesson, you are going to learn how to talk about Thanksgiving in English. And I am recording this at my school. I am just about ready to go home for Thanksgiving. This is a Tuesday as I record this, and I have Wednesday, Thursday. Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. It's the last Thursday in November. I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So I am really excited to have vacation. My students are really excited to have vacation. We have about 1 hour until we get out for school. I have what's called a planning period, so I can get ready for other lessons that I have to get ready for, but I've already done that. So I can make this English lesson for you. I think there are 25 total words and terms. So by the end of this lesson, you will know how Americans celebrate Thanksgiving, or sometimes we call it Turkey Day, because, of course, the main star of the show for Thanksgiving is a turkey, at least for most families. So, Turkey Day is a nickname for Thanksgiving. For all of the terms, I will have the official definition. I'll use it in a sentence. I'll also have a picture that will help you understand the term. So, many people call Thanksgiving Turkey Day. And one of the most famous side dishes, we might say, not the main dish, that's usually turkey. But a side dish would be either stuffing or dressing. There are two words for this. Where I'm from, most people call it stuffing because you used to stuff it inside the turkey, I think. Well, I don't do that in my family, but some families do. And then down south, where my wife is from, they call it dressing. So let's get the official definition here for dressing or stuffing. It is mixed bread with seasoning cooked inside the turkey, like I said earlier, or outside the turkey. It could be either stuffing or dressing. Here is a sentence. There are people in the building, so I'm trying not to be distracted when people walk by. My family makes delicious stuffing every year. That is true. There is seasoning. The seasoning that is most often used in dressing is called sage. And of course, everything is better with butter, salt, that kind of stuff. Next, we have I'm stuffed. It's just another way to say I'm full or I've eaten too much. And that happens to many Americans on Thanksgiving. Here is a sentence, and we, of course, have a picture. This man's belly is very big. In fact, it is resting on the table. Here's a sentence. After 3 plates of turkey and mashed potatoes, I'm stuffed. I ate so much food that I now feel very full. Yeah, I bet he does. Look at that. He might need to buy some new pants, maybe even a new belt. Next, we have leftovers. Some Americans like leftovers better than the actual meal on Thanksgiving. Sometimes those leftovers will happen at midnight for a midnight snack. Maybe they will happen the next day for Black Friday. Leftovers, those are food, or that is food that is not eaten and saved for later. A lot of people like to put leftovers in Tupperware containers. You can see that man's fridge is full of Tupperware containers, or you could call them plastic containers. We ate leftovers for 2 days after Thanksgiving. Some people call the Thanksgiving meal a feast. It's just another way to say a very large meal. My family prepares a big feast on Thanksgiving, and that is true for me. That is not just an example sentence. My sister will make things for Thanksgiving. My wife will make things. My kids will make things. I will sometimes make things. My sister-in-law will make things. There are usually 12 or 14 people at the place that I go to for Thanksgiving. Most of the time, it's my sister's house. Sometimes it's my house. But either way, we always have a feast because so many people make so many different things. One thing that I like, if you know my wife, Jamie, she doesn't like gravy, but I like gravy. In fact, last weekend, I went to Canada and I had some poutine. Poutine is basically French fries, cheese curds, like little squares of cheese, and gravy. I love poutine. A lot of people love turkey and gravy or gravy with their mashed potatoes. So, gravy is a thick sauce, not easy to say, a thick sauce made from turkey juice. Let's make that a little bigger. You can definitely see there are some mashed potatoes there, and somebody is pouring gravy on their mashed potatoes with a spoon. We will talk about a gravy boat in just a minute. I put gravy on my mashed potatoes. Now, many families will put a gravy boat on the table at Thanksgiving, and that is just a vessel that will hold your gravy so you can pour it over your mashed potatoes or your whatever. Really, gravy goes on french fries, of course, but it goes on pretty much everything. The next thing is give thanks. This is like the meaning of Thanksgiving. I often say Thanksgiving is three things: family, football, we will talk about that a little later, and of course, food. But one of the things people do when they get together with their family is they give thanks. That means to say or think about what you are thankful for. So most people will say, "Oh, I am so thankful that I have my family around me." Some people, if their family is healthy, they might be really thankful that all of their family is with them and healthy. That is super important. Here's a sentence that uses give thanks. At dinner, we give thanks to have our family at the table and healthy. We can't forget about the next day, Black Friday. In the past, I have done English lessons about Black Friday. Feel free to search on this channel or my other channel, American English with Brent. I think you could find a English lesson about Black Friday. Yeah, I think it's there. Black Friday is the big shopping day the day after Thanksgiving. It's becoming smaller and smaller. It's not as big as it once was because now we have Cyber Monday. It's another sale. People often will shop Cyber Monday and Black Friday to get gifts for Christmas. But I even saw some stores having sales before Black Friday, like the weekend before. So it's not as big of a deal as it once was. Like in the picture, that is definitely a Walmart. It's a very big store here in the United States, and it looks absolutely packed. Tons of people are shopping for Black Friday. That just doesn't happen anymore. Many people go shopping on Black Friday. How about this? This is good for Thanksgiving, but it's pretty much good for any meal where you can't reach something, maybe the salt or the pepper or the gravy boat. Pass the, and then you can add whatever you need, whatever you can't reach. That is a phrase used at the dinner table to ask for food. And here's an example: can you please pass the mashed potatoes? Or actually, please is at the end. I will read it again. Can you pass the mashed potatoes, please? And you can see, I don't know, is that a mom and a son maybe? The mom is passing her son the bowl of mashed potatoes. I'm going to leave this picture pretty big so you can see it, but the next one here is the kids' table. So adults might sit at one table And then you have like another table that's just for kids, exactly what the name sounds like. It's a separate table where children sit during Thanksgiving dinner. You can see there's one like very big child. He might be a teenager, maybe 17 or 18. And sometimes it can get awkward if you have like an older kid at the kids' table. There might not be quite enough room at the adult table. So that person might kind of feel weird sitting with all of those kids. Here's a sentence that uses kids' table. When I was young, I ate at the kids' table every year. Luckily, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I sit at the adult table. I've graduated to the adult table. Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble is next. That is the sound people say a turkey makes. It's just a fun phrase. And it's interesting. In different languages, we have different sounds that those animals make. For instance, a cow in English goes moo. A cat in English goes meow. Please let me know in the comments. Do you have a different way for saying the sound a cat makes or a cow makes? A dog goes woof woof, or we might say a dog barks. How about this sentence here that uses gobble gobble? The little kids laughed and said gobble gobble at the turkey picture. Is there an actual picture there? Okay. AI made this. I think they did a pretty good job. Yeah, it does look like there is a turkey in that picture. One thing you have to worry about if you have to travel for Thanksgiving, especially if you have to get on a plane, it's holiday traffic. Cars fill up the highway, usually on a Tuesday, like I'm recording this on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, but especially on the Wednesday, especially. That's a good word to know when you want to highlight something. Like holiday traffic is really bad, but especially on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Let's get the official definition for holiday traffic: heavy car traffic during holiday travel. You can see it could happen on Christmas. It could happen on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the busiest travel holiday in the United States. We left early to avoid holiday traffic. I'm sorry, but I need to interrupt the English lesson for just a second. I am offering private tutoring, one-on-one English conversations with me. I will record the lesson. You will be able to watch it many times as you want. And right now, I am offering a discount code. It's Fall 15. Fall is ending soon, so I'm not exactly sure how long this coupon will be good for, at least the next couple weeks. Click on the link in the comments or the description for more information. You can see when I'm available. If you sign up, there will be a little form to fill out. You can ask me questions. I can prepare some kind of lesson for you if you would like. I know it's super hard to find a speaking partner, but I can be that guy for you. Look forward to speaking with you. Okay, now back to the English lesson. Next, we have host or hosting, the official definition: the person who invites everyone to their home. And my sister this year is going to host Thanksgiving. She is going to be the host. That word, host, can be a noun or it can be a verb. My aunt is hosting Thanksgiving this year. Just an example sentence. Next, we have potluck. You remember earlier when I said a lot of people in my family will each make something and then we bring it to my sister's house? Well, that's called a potluck dinner. Potluck. That is a meal where each person brings a dish. Let's make that a little bigger. Yeah, that is a big family and they have a lot of food. It doesn't look like they have a kids' table though. What are they making the kids stand up at the end of the table? Our school has a Thanksgiving potluck with food from many countries. That is sort of true for my school. At lunch today, there was a room where all of the teachers could go because I didn't. I brought like a granola bar and worked through my lunch. But a lot of teachers brought a dish from home. They kept it warm in this room. And then all of the teachers, not all, some of the teachers, maybe half of the teachers got together and had a little bit of what each person made. That is a potluck dinner, potluck lunch. And if you really like the food, you can go in for seconds. Seconds. That is a second serving of food. You get another plate. You can also get thirds. Some Americans will get thirds when they are eating their Thanksgiving dinner. So that means they go get food 3 times and then they get stuffed. The turkey was so good that I went back for seconds. If you eat too much food, you could find yourself in a food coma. That means you are feeling very sleepy after eating too much food. This happens quite a bit. After Thanksgiving dinner, a lot of people will just sit on the couch being very tired. After dinner, everyone sat on the couch in a food coma. Now, growing up, I heard that turkey had something inside it called tryptophan, and that makes people tired. Now that I'm an adult, I have heard that, yeah, tryptophan in turkey can make you tired, but what really makes you tired is eating a lot. I mentioned this earlier. Football, here I have American football. Here in the United States, we just call it football, but American football is a popular U.S. sport played on Thanksgiving where two teams run, throw, and kick an oval shaped ball. I will put up right now what an oval is. It's not quite a circle, it's like a flattened circle. I'm sure you have seen an American football. Many families watch American football together on Thanksgiving Day. My family does. The first game starts around noon, starts around 12 p.m., and doesn't end until about 11 p.m. There are usually 3 or 4 games on throughout the day during Thanksgiving. But before football begins, there is always the Macy's Parade. This happens in New York. Let's get the official definition. A famous Thanksgiving parade in New York City with balloons, music, and floats. Yeah, in the picture, you can see floats. You can see a marching band. A lot of people will have on the Macy's parade while they are cooking for Thanksgiving dinner or lunch, whatever, whenever the family eats. My family usually eats in the late afternoon around 2 or 3. So I don't know what you call that. It's in between. It's like a late lunch, or we might say an early dinner. Most people watch Macy's Parade on TV every Thanksgiving morning. Yeah, the parade is usually done by like noon, I think, maybe 11 a.m. You know this verb, carve. We use it when talking about the turkey. That means to cut the cooked turkey into slices. And here we have a woman. She is carving the turkey for her family. My uncle always carves the turkey at Thanksgiving. And finally, we have set the table. That means putting on the plates, the cups, utensils, arranging it for dinner. The kids, the kids helped set the table before the meal. That is it. Congratulations. I hope you now know how to talk about Thanksgiving just a little bit better in English. If you're looking for another English lesson, right down there, that is when I went to Montreal and I stayed at an Airbnb. Kind of looked like a castle. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.